Hi, you're watching Alice April Academy Online, and this is The Power of Songwriting, Episode 9. My name is Alice April, and today we're going to talk about two kinds of songs. First kind is the songs that we can learn something good from, which would be what to do or what not to do. And another kind of songs which pretty much expose something that people don't want to talk about, but they're still curious about it. Or in our modern generation, people actually don't mind talking about it, and they expose things that are damaging our lives as not a big deal. We can do it. It's fun. It's awesome. Nobody's judging you. And I'm not talking about people judging people. I'm talking about like you can do whatever you want and you're gonna get no consequences, which is not true. So I know it's a touchy subject because there's so many great songs that are written. Yeah, let's go ruin our lives, but we're gonna have so much fun doing it. And I'm guilty of listening to those songs because some of them are so fun and you just love the melody, you don't really care about the message, and sure, music has a certain influence on you as well. And you know, darker music, which is used in horror movies, believe it or not, can scare you even without lyrics. So what I'm talking about here is, you know, certain bands, they want to be bad. They want to be like bad from hell. And I used to have so many friends who I dearly love, and I have nothing against them, that were just, you know, let's dress up as monsters and sing songs about all this creepy stuff and make our music as dark as possible so people would really, you know, go to our show and then won't be able to sleep next day. And they thought it was super cool, and it's one of those kind of scenarios that I'm talking about, like one of those type of songs and I guess genres in music that are written for a certain purpose. And of course, don't get me wrong, because there should be those kind of songs for, you know, when you're watching a movie and there's a soundtrack and there's an evil character singing a song, and or something really dramatic, bad happens, and you gotta have some kind of a background music for it. You're gonna have some kind of lyrics expressing what that is. The thing is that a lot of people, they adapt it as their perfect life scenario. So they take that song from a cartoon or from a movie or from that some band or an artist, and they say, oh, it's actually cool to be bad, it's cool to damage people's lives, or it's cool to be rude to people, or it's cool to ruin my body by doing something terrible to it that's gonna eventually cause me cancer, or, you know, whatever. I'm like not talking about any specific thing in here, like whatever, doing something damaging for your body. That's what I'm talking about. That a lot of people, you know, I grew up, and it's very, I guess, naive way of saying it, but my family had, you know, an alcoholic drink, but they had it during, you know, New Year's Eve or somebody's birthday, or it was like sitting in the cabinet for a special occasion, and that's how I grew up learning about alcohol. But I also found out that later on, apparently there are people who have addiction and people who don't have addiction. People who don't have addiction, they can have a drink and they're fine. They're not going to care about it next day. But people who do have addiction, they're going to have one drink today, another one tomorrow. Maybe they're going to have 6 drinks a day, and that ruins their lives. So people who write songs like, yeah, let's go get wasted, woo, party on, let's get drunk. You know, those kind of messages in the music, sure, it's fun to listen to, and I've been, I guess, in both kinds of scenarios where you go with friends who want to drink before the show, otherwise the show is not fun for them to go see. And I had other kind of friends who, you know, they don't care about drinking, they go to see the band, they go to get the vibes from the music and just go have fun without any substance abuse. Like, there's just like 2 different ways of having fun. And anyways, even they will listen to the same song, but they're not going to get influenced by it. Just as I gave an example before, for them, listening to that song, because they don't have an addiction of specific kind, they're not going to care. They're like, yeah, it's just a song, whatever. But for some other people, they're going to be like, yeah, the message in the song is, let's live our life this kind of way. And they're going to actually go and do it, because the favorite song that they like is talking about it and motivating them to do it. And a lot of people were talking how, oh, Kiss is, I watched that movie, Detroit Rock City, and how they were saying, oh, Kiss music is devil's music, whatever, and they were having all these crazy stories behind, and people from churches rebelled. And I loved that movie, and I always thought it was hilarious, and it's so silly because a lot of their songs are not even close to any kind of satanic stuff, and some of them are about love and has nothing to do with that image. But at the same time, maybe some of their songs have whatever other messages that motivated those parents be concerned for their children, because they're going to go and ruin their lives. And in the movie you can clearly say that there's apparently a bad parent who chain smoked, and she was dragging his son to church, and it was funny because she was not a good role model, and her son was actually way better than her and he was kind of more proper kid and trying to do good things, and trying to be good to his friends, and and it's funny how movies show things from different perspective, or like Wayne's World, another great movie that I absolutely love, that exposes, it's not about the bad music or good music in the way of the messages of the music. It's who that music reaches, actually. People with addiction who are going to go and fall under the influence, or people who are just going to be like, it's just a song, I don't really care. But I do think it's important, because if you know that you can easily fall under an influence of a song, it probably will be dangerous to go and listen to the kind of music with all kinds of messages that you're not ready for. So I think for us songwriters, it's really important to keep in mind, okay, if we're writing a song about bad situation, bad scenario, bad character, whatever that is, well, and I'm calling bad and good, for many people it's bad, for some people bad might be good and good might be bad, so it all depends on your personal standards and morals and principles in life. So if you think drinking beer every day is good, that, of course, song about drinking beer is not going to be a bad song for you. But if drinking beer literally ruined your life, and maybe it was not beer but vodka or something more stronger than that, then yeah, it's a dangerous song, and you probably should think twice about listening to it on a daily basis and being like, yeah, it's awesome to drink beer, it's so cool, I'm a cool kid now, and I'm not cool, I'm lame if I don't drink, if I don't smoke, then I'm a lame person, nobody's gonna be friends with me, and all that, that's what I thought when I was little. If I'm a good girl, proper girl, I will have no friends, which I didn't have, hardly ever had friends because of that, because they thought I'm just not that. And one of my friends, it was hilarious because I still remember this. There's a band that I liked, and it was about, well, it's a Russian band, so it was promoting certain things that now I listen to it from a different perspective, because I'm an adult now and I'm not with a childish mind that was very vulnerable to those kind of things. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's just a song. But back in the day, it really made me think that, man, they don't really, that all men are cheaters, and all men are, what would you call it, like dominators. They want their way or the highway, and that all men are, pretty much that band gave certain stereotypes about how men think if they have an argument with a woman and they don't want to agree with the woman, that he's going to go and cheat on her because she's trying to control him or whatever. And then they were singing about women who didn't have respect for their body, and they were just sleeping around, And so those kind of songs, you know, that the band was kind of cycling, recycling, you know, singing during their shows. And a lot of women who went to those concerts, they were like, yeah, men suck, because they try, you know, and they were like, oh, I'm going to be independent, I'm going to have a man who I'm going to control, or I'm not going to get married. And they were even against marriage, and they were like against all the good stuff in life, and then they were saying, oh, my life sucks because I have no love, and because I can't have a normal family, and that's why I'm gonna go and get wasted, and because life is so not fair, and da 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 da. So it's kind of funny to bring it up and talk about it, but that's the reality. A lot of people are like that, and they're really influenced by the music that they're listening to, by the show atmosphere that those artists create. They dress up a certain way. How many times do you go see a concert and, you know, people actually are modeling the performers' looks and their fashion and the way those performers are? Because, you know, if and it's a silly example, if the band is promoting something, you know, let's put less clothes on, their fans are gonna go and put less clothes on. If the band is promoting peace, then like back in the day, how there are a lot of bands that they say, oh, let's smoke, you know, the green stuff, and there's going to be peace in the world, everybody's going to be friendly. And a lot of people said, well, we're against fighting, so let's everybody become smokers of that, because that's what brings us peace. Nothing else is apparently bringing them peace, just that. So that, I always thought it was weird, but at the same time, for some reason, they're like, well, these things are good, and everything else that brings peace is not important, you know, not the same. You know, everything else is fighting in causing drama, or whatever it was about. But a lot of people, they were on pills or on whatever, and it was like a huge subculture that's been created, and certain music would be assigned to a certain era of certain kind of people that had certain political views, certain personal views, certain you know, the personal standard stereotypes and those kind of things. And it was always weird to me, because I met so many people who actually fell under a certain era of music, like under a certain decade of music, and they were like, oh, I'm a 60s child, or I'm a 70s child, or I'm an 80s child. And well, you get what I'm trying to say here, that people who are popular, let's put it this way, they create a lot of subcultures. They create fashion, they create stereotypes, and basically they create role models. I'm not gonna again say the name, but I was watching an interview, and this artist, she said, well, the host said, well, you know, you're a role model, and girls here in the audience, they are looking up to you, they want to be like you. And she's like, oh, I wouldn't call myself a role model, maybe inspiration for some people, but I don't want to be a role model, because I'm just a human and I'm making mistakes, and I don't want them to go and follow into my footsteps making my mistakes or anything like that. But at the same time, hey, role model and inspiration, it's kind of very close. You know, your inspiration for, they say, well, maybe role model, it would be just this proper person who does everything right, but there's no such person. You know, we're all human beings and we're all making mistakes. It's just whatever we are making public, and paparazzi, oh, they want to be all over artists' mistakes because that's what's making them money. And a lot of children don't realize that, and, you know, young adults who don't really, or even adults, some adults are very immature in their mind, and they don't realize that all that drama that's created by paparazzi is because we are going to watch those videos that are gonna get commercials, and that's how they make their money. Commercials make them money, or, you know, people talking about it on social media, or even before that, just talking to each other. You know, all the bad stuff is making the most money. And if you notice, there's going to be this drama video with naked girls and all kinds of things. I was watching this video recently. It's a lyric video for one band, And I was just reading the comments, and people comments tell you a lot. It's so valuable to read comments, what other people think about a specific thing. So I watched the video, and then it had a lot of naked woman body in it, and then the song is great, and I don't really think that the song has anything to do with the chest part of that woman, but a lot of people in the comments are like, yay, melons, woo, I'm here for the melons. You know, it's like, you're here for the song or for see the naked girl? I mean, come on. And it was just hilarious to me, but at the same time it's sad, because there are people that don't really care about the band. They're just like, yeah, show me some stuff that I can't see anywhere else. And it's not even on a special website that is hidden from you know, 12-year-olds. You can go on YouTube. Any 10-year-old can go on YouTube and see the video and see whatever this video is showing. And it's not even like back in the day they used to hide magazines and all that kind of stuff. Now it's like right there. And it's available for anybody to watch. And so I'm like, this is, in my opinion, a smart band. They write smart songs. Why in the world, knowing that, they would put that video out? Don't they read what people talk about when they, it's just, I don't know. And again, I love the band and nothing against them, but I just feel like it would be nice if they would pay attention to the material they're releasing for the public and realize that it's not just adults who are watching those videos. And if you're talking about something that is adult-like, consider that other people are gonna be exposed to it as well, and not just those people who you think will be watching those videos. So I think although PG-13 or R-rated stuff is created thinking that, oh, if it's R-rated, then children are not going to go watch it. It's usually backwards. If somebody's saying you can't do it, the person's going to say, oh, yes, I'm going to go and do it. They're going to be like, I want to do it because it's restricted and I can't get it. And that's what usually human beings are excited about for the most part, especially the ones that don't think first about their actions and they go act. You know, a lot of people, they kind of act and then think backwards, and they're like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but I already did that. Or, well, another, oh my goodness, another video that I watched recently, another great artist that I highly respect and love, she said, oh, you know what, it's okay to go and do whatever in the world you want. We live only once, and, you know, I don't regret whatever I did. And people shouldn't regret what they did, but at the same time, you know, adults are going to listen to it, and they're just going to kind of think back, oh, well, things happened in the past, oh well, I've done that, now I know what it is like. But children, they don't think that way. They think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do all that stuff and it's gonna be awesome. You know, you don't have to touch the fire to know it's hot. And those people are gonna go and touch the fire because they're not smart enough not to touch it. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here. So it's a huge responsibility for songwriters all over the world to consider that, to know that whatever they're writing, whatever subject they pick, whatever scenario it is, there's going to be a whole lot of people that are going to get exposed to their music. Or maybe I should have said their music is going to get exposed for so many people. But you get the point that, of course, there's such a thing as a target audience, and that you should consider, you know, if you're Taylor Swift, you're writing for, you know, well, a lot of people say, well, she's writing for teenagers, you know, for her, a lot of people her age or younger, they're going to go and become fans and buy her stuff. So when she started out, and I cried watching some of her music videos because I could relate to, you know, there's a music video where mom and dad was fighting and she was a little girl or something like that, where she wanted her parents to be together. And Pink has another song, Family Portrait, and so it's kind of should be motivating for parents. Hey, let's figure it out before we have children, so we stay together for a child to have a mom and dad. And so it's kind of a great message out there, and it's touching, and that's why it was such a boomy popular thing. There's also another message where, you know, a lot of girls who are treated by guys, in the girl's opinion, unfair. Like, not all the guys are prince on the white horse, and of course it's life, and people are going to treat people a certain way depending on who deserves what and that kind of stuff. And so, like, those music videos where girls scratching guys' cars and destroying guys' properties because they cheated or did something, hey, come on, not your, you know, if the guy cheated, he cheated for a reason. It's either, you know, he didn't like you anymore, he thought you're not a good fit for him, or he didn't get, you know how it happens in life. It doesn't give you a reason to go and scratch his car. You get out of his life and go find yourself a better person, you know, or find yourself a right fit, I would say, because it's not that that person is bad, it's just you guys didn't match together, and for whatever reason that happened. But don't teach, you know, don't artists and go and teach girls to go and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So in return, the man is going to think, what is wrong with this girl? Is she out of her mind? She needs to go to a mental hospital because she can't handle herself, and she wants to, you know, go and express herself like a psycho, and instead of being a normal human being. And I'm not saying that cheating shouldn't be like. I just think that, you know, if somebody cheated on you, it's a bad thing, but you don't need to go back and do something bad to that person. And especially in your music, teach other people to do that. I think it's just kind of too touchy subject. Like, causing somebody harm is not the right thing to go. Like, causing somebody pain just because you felt pain. A lot of people do that, but it's really sad, and it shouldn't be that way. And if somebody caused you pain, you just don't want to be around those people anymore. You want to walk away from them, or they're going to just gradually fade away from your life. But you don't want to go and do harm to those people purposely, and especially say, hey, let's everybody, you know, look what happened to me. Let's go and punish all those bad cheaters out there. Not like women don't cheat, it's just men. You know, women cheat too, and women do bad things to men too, and men don't go scratch women cars. Or well, maybe they do, I don't know. But I just like, or girls who are proud of having many guys ahead of that special one. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, especially when younger children sing those lyrics and they don't realize what they're singing about. And like, again, I love all the artists out there, but I think they should be wiser and actually think about what their music is doing to their listeners, especially if it's a younger listener who is not wise enough to, you know, separate stones from the sand. You know, I'm just, you know, figuratively speaking, describing it, but I really wish to raise awareness about it, because I think it's important, and I think somebody should stand up for the truth, for the goodness of it, and maybe we can improve music industry to where you don't have to be a singing pennies in order to go and the reason why I'm saying this is because in the country I'm from, there's actually a term. You know, they put good-looking girls out there who don't necessarily have enough talent just to make money, because they know that those kind of women, the less clothes they put on them, and they're singing these silly songs, and they're gonna make those producers a lot of money. And they don't care about the messages, they don't care about the songs. Well, and I'm still doing my research, and I'm still thinking about it, because I was always concerned. I'm like, well, if you're an artist, you're supposed to be actually caring about what songs you put out, and every song should be like your child. And you well, not don't quote me on that, but what I'm saying is that it's a piece of art that you've created, that you've put so much effort and energy and time and whatever inspiration you had into it, and you want it to be the best thing it can be out there, and you want this thing to create the best possible outcome for people who listen to it. You want them to either feel your pain or feel your happiness, or understand your point of view, or listen to your opinion, or whatever it is. It's important to you. It shouldn't be like, oh yeah, whatever. It's out there. It's making me money, and I'm cool as long as I can pay my bills and enjoy my life. I don't care what that song is doing out there. I think that every masterpiece, every song, every music video, you know, every show that people put out for entertainment or for many other purposes, it should they should seriously consider what they're putting out as songwriters, as musicians. And I had my wake-up call when I wrote a song about what I thought was one thing, and then a lot of people came up to me and they started telling me, oh, this is what the song is about, and they started sharing their opinions. I'm like, oh my goodness, no. And I didn't mean to. I kind of wanted that song to, I wrote about a certain moment in my life that I deeply regretted, and I wished that, and I wrote all my feelings out in that song because I was hoping that that song will motivate other people not to do it, but they took it the wrong way, and they took it like, oh, well, it's just that, and it happens, and it's okay. And I didn't mean to say it's okay. I meant to say it's like it's bad when it happens, and it's and so that's when I learned my personal lesson, that people actually listen to your songs and they actually get something out of it. And then I also had other feedbacks on my other songs where people said, oh, I had that happen to me, or I understand what you were talking about in here. And again, I'm just a simple song. I'm just a regular songwriter. I don't have you know, million albums sold like those other musicians do. And so if 2 or 3 people told me about my songs, like picture how many, if it's an artist who's selling millions of their records, of their songs out there, how many people actually listen to what they're putting out there and have their own opinions and have their own feedback. And I think it's a great, valuable thing to put your song out there on YouTube or somewhere and read the comments about that song, what people say. And it's not about haters, it's not about people who support you, it's about what the song is really about. Because if there's nothing bad about it, nobody's going to say anything bad about it. They might say, oh, I don't like it, or they might actually say bad things about it. But honestly, I thought about it so many times, and I did my research, and I looked up many different songs and what people say. Normally, people don't really go and talk bad about good stuff, hardly. You know, you might find like 1 or 2 comments, but not like 100 or 1,000 comments that are bad. It's like shopping on Amazon. You know, when you go and you read reviews, if you go and, it's probably going to be a long video, but I just think it's a really important subject. When you're buying something, you're not going to go buy an item that had like 1 million bad reviews and 1 good review. You probably go and buy the item that's going to have more good reviews than bad reviews. And some people are still going to say bad things about it, but a lot of people actually give constructive criticism to an item, or, well, in this case would be a song. They're going to talk about what that song really is, because some people, they don't even know about the artist, they don't relate to the artist. Like, I'll give you an example. There's some artists that have so many haters and so many people that support, and haters and supporters, they constantly clash and fight and kind of defend or you know, talk about the artist in a certain way. But there are other people that just like, they don't care. They're not fans of the artist or haters of the artist. So they're just like, yeah, I think this song is good. You know, it has, you know, they would write whatever they write about it. Like I give you an example about an Amazon item, for example. If it came late, it might be a mistake of, you know, the post office held it for a while, but the item still came late and the person's going to talk about it. So sometimes late delivery is not really an issue, which in some cases it might be, and some people understand that there can be all kinds of issues with delivery. But if a lot of people said, oh, this item broke after a week I used it, that's when you understand, oh, I probably should think twice about buying this item. Or if you see it's cheap price and you know that the quality is not going to be that great, and you can get a use of this item for, I don't know, a month or two, and then it's going to break, but you don't really care about it because it's so cheap and, well, so reasonable for you to buy, then sure, you know, I don't mind about those bad reviews. I'm still going to go get it and use it for a month, you know. But it's a different situation with, you know, emotional things that songs give you versus the items. That probably not a very good comparison, but maybe you can still get valuable information out of it. So that is the reason why I created this course, because I think it's really important, and I want to raise awareness, and I want to motivate and inspire, well, maybe not inspire, but probably just raise awareness that I am a customer, I buy songs, and I'm a huge music lover, and I've had songs influence in my life, and artists influence in my life, and I look up to certain artists now, and I learn to close my eyes on all the other stuff that I think not gonna cause me any good in life, and I learn to separate them and kind of take the good and leave everything else behind. And I hope that even with the music that exists right now, if you know that you're a person that's very influenced by music, maybe you'll learn some lesson. You'll go start listening to music differently from after watching this video. You're gonna go and say, oh, hey, you know, this song is actually teaching me a valuable lesson in life, or helping me to cope with certain feelings or emotion. And this song is actually supporting something that's dangerous and that I should be staying away from. But from this song, I'm learning that it's dangerous, and somebody's been there and somebody's talking about it. And maybe that would be, for me, like the phrase, don't touch the fire, you're gonna get burnt. And that song can serve that purpose, because somebody else touched the fire and got burnt and wrote the song about it. And you might actually listen to that song and learn that, and don't have to do it in your own life. So that's why I'm raising the subject, and I hope it can create a conversation. If you guys want to leave a comment below what you think about it, tell me about the songs, again, that did it for you, that created a certain kind of influence, one or another, that you would like to share. It would be really, really interesting for me to know your opinion. And if you're a songwriter and you had certain feedback on your songs, please share. It's so interesting to me to know these things. There's so many courses out there about how to write a song, how to be a great songwriter, and all that. But in my opinion, it's not just technical stuff. It's also you should consider that as an artist, you become a public person. You pour your feelings out there for the public, and it's just not just about using the right notes that sound good together, or and it's all that is very important. I'm following a lot of those people who teach songwriting, but I also think that it's really, really important to dig deeper, and to actually listen to what other people put out, and listen to your own music, and talk to people about your music, and see what influence your music creates, and look at your fans, look at what they do, look at how their lifestyle is, and look at why they like you so much, and what your music does to their lives and to them individually, as you know, just a human being in this world. And I think it's really important, and I would love to hear from you. So I'm signing off now. I see you in the next episode, which is going to be the last episode of this series. And then I'm going to do something else that, in my opinion, is important as well. It's going to be fun. And I'm also going to be sharing my music with you. And I'm not just going to be sharing songs that that I thought were my better songs. I'm going to share all kinds of songs that I don't think, in my opinion, were that great, but they taught me something, and I'm going to break them down, and hopefully that will give my viewers you valuable information, and that's really what I care about. I just want to put out good stuff out there, and I want to help people to be the best musicians and the best songwriters they can be, and look up to the best musicians out there and create the best entertainment for people, and also share their personal stories in a way that is safe for other people to hear, which means bad things happen to us, and it's great to express it because we are brave enough to let all those people know what happens in life and how we feel about it and how we wish things would be, because it's all very personal. Not a lot of people are brave enough to actually tell their personal story, put it out there for the whole entire world to see, and then get their criticism and feedback and still be cool about it. It's a really hard emotional thing to go through, and I think every artist out there who are writing about tough topics, they're really brave, and I hail to those people. I learned so much from other people's experiences through that they express through their songs, and I don't know what I would do without those songs. I value them so much that words really can't express. And on this note, I'm ending this episode. I hope you guys learned something new. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.